Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Matt, and today we have something a bit different for you. Usually on this channel I check out Transformers, the trading card game, and mostly board games, but today we're going to be looking at some of the Transformers toys from the War for Cybertron line, Siege and Earthrise. Now, I'm not a toy reviewer, so I'm not actually going to show you how to transform the toy and all the articulation and all the joints and all the posability that you can have. There are many other channels that can do that. But I'd like to show you today some upgrades that I purchased from Grimlock's Forge. These actually enhance the figures and make them look a little bit more cooler, in my opinion. None of these are specific to continuity. These are just some upgrades that I bought for the characters. So if you're looking for like exact G1 accuracy, you may not actually see that. But let's start showing you what I got. So first of all, I want to open up with one of my favorite upgrades so far that I've actually got from here, and that is going to be from my boy Barricade. So Barricade over here is from the Siege line of the Transformers War for Cybertron toys, and I'm not sure exactly what wave he was in, but what I wanted to do was actually give him more guns. Now, when I first purchased him, I noticed that he only came with these two guns that were right here. They're just these little two guns that kind of just sit on top of the hood of the car, but nothing else. So I purchased the Caliburst Battlemaster, and unfortunately I don't have Slugslinger, his partner from the prior line of toys. So I kind of just, I left it there and put a kind of like an Energon Baton. Now I know that this looks kind of a little bit suggestive like something else, but it actually looks really good, and I'm not sure if you can actually see the cool translucent shine, but at this, this page on Facebook, Grimlock's Forge, they make the blast effects from the Siege line. Now, the one main focus that you're going to notice is that these are hard. They're not actually the soft plastic, and they do pose a bit better, but they are a little less, I wouldn't say that, I'd say that the parts in this line, they're not as... they're not 100% like the Siege in quality, but they still look amazing, and they actually pose, and they look great in the figures. So that's the only minor gripe. But aside from that, I'm not going to show you here all the rest of the stuff. So here's some extra things that came with it. So I picked up a little blaster for Barricade. It's kind of like this very, very small generic Transformer blaster, and one of the axes, one of the battle axes. Now, originally when this first came out, all these axes had small little peg ports in the bottom where you could, put a peg into it, but none of the Siege line has a lot of pegs. So I took the person who made the advice and said to cut one off with scissors. Didn't go too good, so we just sanded that puppy down. So with with Hoist, what I did was I took the piece and I sanded it. Looks a lot better. So if you're looking for like a little Cybertronian axe to go in one of your character's hands, he has those at the store. Also, these cool little blasters. I put a little one right here on my Hoist to kind of make him a little bit more epic. I know that Hoist usually has tools and not guns, but I just, they were just kind of little extra upgrades that I want to see how they actually looked. Now, aside from just having some random things that I just showed you, let's show you the ones that I actually plan to buy. So first of all, we'll put Barricade right over here. The first one that I really wanted to kind of go after was a missile for Hound. Now, if you've seen the Siege toy, unfortunately Hound does not come with a missile, and I do have a silver one as well, but I kind of like the way that this plastic gray one looks. It just feels and pops better. It looks just like the Mirage one that was released. These actual pieces and accessories that he makes are almost Siege accurate. It's kind of crazy. And for his right arm over here, I should say left arm, I guess, I put a little silver Gatling gun on top of there so you could pop out and shoot that. It looks great. Painted it up. Yeah, so that's my Hound. Next, let's go into another Autobot, and that is going to be our boy Crosshairs. Now, I am a huge Crosshairs fan, so when I found out that he was coming in Siege, that I picked him up, and he has the Trenchfoot Battlemaster from the Autobot Squad pack they released on Amazon. I know that Crosshairs has an actual Battlemaster, and he hasn't been released in this set yet, but the fact that this is the closest that we'll get to him. For Crosshairs himself, I purchased a kind of like this gray-black Gatling guns that I could put all on the sides of his arms and back to kind of, you can actually fit them in the ports there in the back, and they actually fit just perfectly, Also, all the pegs are very easy to modify. If they're a bit too thick, you can actually just sand them down a little bit with a little bit of sandpaper. So that is my crosshairs. He looks awesome. He's got a little blaster in his right hand, 4, Gatling guns. Anyway, next is Ironhide. So I wanted to mirror the effects of crosshairs and see how they looked on Ironhide. So with Ironhide, with him, I just went something simple. I just put 2 simple Gatling guns in the back of his, I should actually call it his, the front of his car here, not the back of it. You can see right over here that these plug in very simply. You can kind of put them up top here or back. They actually mesh and blend in with the figure quite well. You see if the actual pieces here, they actually match the leg parts and also some of the lighter silver and gray that's up here. I also have smashed down one of the Battle Masters from Siege. And next, we've got, let's grab another Autobot. Let's pick up our boy Ratchet. So now that I've shown you the first 2 trucks, I wanted to make my Ratchet kind of look the same way. So I purchased a simple handheld blaster, a couple more ones to put on the shoulders. I also basically wanted to kind of make him look a bit more threatening than what he was before, because Ratchet really only came with this backpack and the wrench, and I kind of wanted to make it a bit more accurate. I will eventually customize him and paint him myself and actually paint the bottom parts and make him look more like G1, but for right now I just kind of wanted to give him more to have because he was a little bit bare in my opinion. Next, we have some Decepticons. Actually, you know what? Let's go with the last Autobot. I was going to show him next, but let's do him next. So this is my Prowl. Prowl kind of mirrors Barricade, as I mentioned. He has one of those blast effect parts for like in like an energon baton on his shoulders. Prowl used to have a lot of actual big cannons or large missile pods that actually went on top of here, or missile launchers. So I wanted to kind of get pieces that resemble the G1 look to make him look a bit more accurate. With decals, he probably will look a bit more, but I kind of like the way that this looks. So it's it's all Cybertronian. I prefer the actual design with no decals for this guy. All right, next we have a select from Siege, and that is Greenlight. Now, Greenlight usually comes with a weapon, which is Dazzle Strike. It is a Battle Master slash, what little dude turns into a weapon. But I kind of wanted Greenlight to have her own pistols. Now, these right here came in the colors of Moonracer, and he said that I could easily just paint those a lime green, and they would actually just show up quite well. So that's what I'm going to do. I wanted to kind of have her these kind of like feminine pistols that she could use. She's a bit of a smaller toy herself, so yeah, I had to actually uncombine her from Elita 1 to show her off. All right, next we've got another Autobot. Let's do some more. Let's do some Decepticons. So first of all, my Nemesis Prime from the Siege line. Very, very small, simple upgrade. I absolutely love this translucent sword. It's so cool. It reminds me of the almost an exact replica of the Alpha Trine one from Titan's Return. But with Nemesis Prime, he was just missing some more pink, so I grabbed a couple more pink blasters. These look fantastic on the truck mode, which unfortunately I'm not able to show because I'm kind of just showing the figures, but I kind of just wanted to add a little bit of, more blast effects to Nemesis to make him stand out a bit more. Next, we've got Apeface. Now, originally, I do have another set of upgrades for Apeface, but I want to kind of just pick up a little extra ones. I do have the Energon Axe and the gun that came with, I think it was the Matrix upgrade kit. But for this one, I got plastic that actually matched Apeface's actual colors here. They're just little blasters, similar ones that go on top of 6 Gun's shoulders. And I just kind of wanted to add them to the figure. I can kind of put them on the back if I want to back here for more effects for when he's flying in plane mode, or just have him on there. I also added an extra black gun. This originally was another gun for crosshairs. I was going to paint red on the end, but it just kind of looks better in, Apeface's hands. He's one of the actual neater bots that we got from this set. It's too bad that he will not stay together in his beast mode. So yeah, so that's some more of the upgrades. I'll sit them down here. Next for Decepticons, we have a blast effect for Megatron. So Megatron, I didn't really want to do too much with him yet. What I'm planning on doing is getting all the paint and all the crappy, blast effects that they put on these figures off eventually. But for right now, I don't mind it. But I really wanted to get like a flamethrower for Megatron or one for Jazz. We don't have an Earthrise Jazz yet. Hopefully we get one. But this one looks really cool. The blast effect looks so good. I may actually put some black ink like that, just some wash over it to kind of make it a bit more of a, of a pizzazz, or just make it pop. But this looks so good. And because I wanted to synchronize, I got the Arctic Camo Megatron with a blue flame. Blue Flame. Yeah, so that's Megatron for the flames. And I have a few more things left from Grimlock's Forge to show you. Aside from the hoist thing, that was just kind of extra parts. These are the ones that I upgraded for with Earthrise. So Optimus Prime, Earthrise, all I did was add the movie kind of base sword to his hand. Now, the one thing I was a bit disappointed, Earthrise Optimus doesn't have a way to actually peg this in his hand yet. So I kind of just have to have him hold it. Now, I may actually transfer this to one of the Studio Series that I have, but it still looks good in Earthrise Optimus's hands. He just looks fun, and he didn't really come with a whole lot of weapon accessories, so it's nice to see him actually have a little weapon there. Originally, this orange axe that I had was kind of going to go for him, but once I realized that the peg didn't fit, fodder, right? Let's set Optimus on all these people over here. Actually, this may actually be giving someone anxiety, so I'm going to move all these out of here. So, I know how people can be. So let's move all these things out of here. I've already showed everybody most of the stuff. And we only have a few left. So the last of my Earthrise bots, I'm just going to bring them all over here. So we've got Wheeljack, Ironworks, and Cliffjumper. So for Cliffjumper, I wanted to give him some hand pistols. I was originally going to give these to the Titan's Return Bumblebee that my fiance absolutely loves, carries with her wherever she goes. But I feel like Cliffjumper wanted some better handguns until the upgrade kit comes out. His grenade launcher or rocket launchers on the back, they're just handy. They look really good on them. Next is Wheeljack. Wheeljack kind of went through this weird phase. I do have an upgrade kit coming for his shoulder to give him the more G1 accurate kind of guns. But for his arms, I wanted to give him these, dual pistols. They kind of look like the pistols that Ironhide used and also Bumblebee used back in the day. But they just look good in his hands. And I kind of wanted to go for a more war-centric Wheeljack because, I mean, we always get the ones that he's a crazy inventor. Let's see a more war-based one. So I added some more guns and effects to him just to kind of make him stand out a bit. And lastly, we have Ironworks. Now, Ironworks actually has a few different pieces on him. So the main one is that he has one of those peg axes. So earlier when I showed you that axe, this is what it originally came and looked like. So it had this part right here, and unfortunately none of the Siege pieces can actually hook into it. So that only led like a lot of weaponizers and characters from probably prior waves that can equip it. So I just stuck it on Ironworks because why not, right? And on his arm over here, we've got another little blaster. So that's what I've shown for most of the action. That's what I picked up from Grimlock's Forge. Quite a bit of cool little items. If you actually want to see what they look like, I'll probably grab a couple of them and put them on my hands so you can see them. Here's the blaster. Another little blaster. It's quite cool. Isn't it precious? Over here, we've got one of the handguns for Cliffjumper. I'm going to show it a little bit close up as well. These are really good. Like, he sculpted them very nicely. And let's pull, I don't know, let's pull one of the guns off of Ratchet so we can see all the ridiculous guns. So if you look here, look, they're painted so nice. Like, he matched the colors of the Siege line. Like, it looks so good. And the missiles on Proud, like, they match his colors and everything. Like, the colors don't really feel off aside from those few ones I showed you that were purple. So if you can, avoid the reds and purple. Try to stay towards, the reds actually look pink, and these are your purples. So your purples aren't really Decepticon colors. They're like this, like this light blue color. But yeah, so that is everything. So kind of a weird video, I know, but I just kind of want to show you some of my upgrades. If you'd like to see more upgrades that I was getting for the toys, and actually, have a more in-depth review of the toys, just let me know down below in the comments. And if you get a chance, subscribe, check out, watch some other videos, I guess. I don't know. That's it. And have a great day, and thanks for watching. To all our one.